Hello everyone and welcome back to the JP on Comms channel for another all you need to know video. If you're unfamiliar with this style of video, this is where I take a little look at Maidstone United's latest incomings. We take a look at their profile, their road to the club and what we can expect to see from them in the future. And of course, as you can tell by the title, today's video is going to be talking about Lamar Reynolds. So first of all, who is Lamar Reynolds? Well, he is a 27-year-old forward player coming in from Braintree Town. We share a birthday as well for anyone who wants to keep tabs. But yes, as I say, can play in a couple of different positions in that forward line, predominantly featuring off the left or a central role, but can also pick up minutes on the right hand side too. He did end up playing quite a few games last season for Braintree, and in that time he did pick up 6 goals and I believe 6 assists. Assist stats aren't really recorded in the National League South. However, I did go back and watch every single goal that Braintree scored last season, and well, bearing the poor camera quality at times and bearing the fact that he chopped and changed numbers quite a bit, often 9, 10 or 11. So yeah, it was quite hard to try and figure out who he was on the pitch at times, but I believe he got 6 assists at least. So again, not too bad in terms of numbers, goal or an assist every 3 games or so for a team who just about got into the playoff spots. Isn't too bad at all. Of course, the expectation was very low for Braintree going into last season, but they very much outperformed that, and I believe that Lamar Reynolds was a key contributor to that success. So taking a little look at his career up to date, he actually did start off in non-league football. He went straight into it, very similar to Solwangel Smith. Didn't go through an academy, ended up straight in the men's game, and I believe he said in his interview with the club yesterday that he actually started off featuring for Thurrock about 15, 16 years of age. So very, very good thing that getting into the men's game very early. Of course, you're going to mature very quickly. You're going to understand your role in a side as definitely a more technical player. I think when you're very young and you're competing in the men's game, it forces you to become more technical just because you can't necessarily physically compete with the size and stature of people in the men's game. There's no chance a 15, 16-year-old is going to be able to come up against a 30-year-old centre-back and try and barge him off the ball. So very much forced to hone your pace, hone your technical ability, and that is something that Lamar has done very, very well, which we'll get into a little bit later in this video. But he's got a very, very lengthy career up to date. Started off in 14-15, moving from Barking to Thurrock, went from Thurrock to Averley on loan to Grays, full-time to Grays on loan to Heybridge, then went back to Barking, ended up at Brentwood. And again, he said in the video, this was the club that earned him the really big move. Around 20 years of age, back in the 16-17 season, he did manage to bag about 30 goals in roughly 30 games. So definitely has got an eye for a goal in there somewhere, and I'm hoping we're going to see more of that this season. But after Brentwood's success in that season, he did end up getting scouted and moving to Newport County. He ended up on loan at Leyton Orient, which is where he met George Thorne, and that's something else we'll get into in this video. Ended up leaving and going to Dagenham and Redbridge, played there for a little while, went on loan to Chelmsford, ended up at Concord on a full-time move, and then spent a little while there before going to Braintree, where of course he was last season. So very, very lengthy career up to date, multiple clubs in there over a pretty much 10-year period or so, about 8 or 9 years. So of course, very, very experienced player, especially for his age. 27 is definitely not old. Still got a good 5 years in him easily. So let's take a little look now at his ability and what it is that I think Maidstone have looked at last season to maybe think, this could work for us in the upcoming season. So as we know, Maidstone are looking at a more versatile and pacey attack with the likes of Solwangel Smith, Josh Shonny Barre coming in towards the end of last season as well, and Razak Coleman de Graft coming in last week too. So definitely looking for that more pacey outbreak on the attack, and he's someone who nails that down to a T. I mean, incredibly fast. His on-the-ball ability is fantastic. I mean, something which, again, we've looked at a little bit already is the ability people have to use both feet and it's not something that's too common at this level, but you'll notice the players that do have that ability are often much better on the ball because they've got that ability to close control with both feet, and they've also got that out ball as well, and that definitely contributes to a side that helps with a player's versatility, hence why we see him play on the left, sometimes down the middle, occasionally on the right. So can use both feet, very, very quick, very, very versatile in a forward line, and can contribute to a team very effectively. He's someone who is an absolute nightmare to defend against when playing on the shoulder, and that's something we saw a lot from AYNTK. Now, there's a lot of differences between Lamar Reynolds and AYNTK, but there's also a lot of similarities. The fact that he likes to play on the left, the fact that he can chop in onto his right foot from the left, the fact he's very good with his feet, very technical, and likes to play on the shoulder. These are all very, very key attributes that we lost, of course, last season with the injury to AYNTK. So I'm not saying, of course, that he's the same player, but there's a lot of key features there that we're seemingly replacing with Luke's departure and Reynolds' incoming. So another thing as well that I've kind of managed to link him to was how Sol plays. Sol often drifts wide, even if he's playing in a central role, and because the teams he's featured in the past have had a bit more of a versatile front line, he can pick up spots which you wouldn't necessarily expect him to be in, no matter where he's playing. So again, that can open teams up, that can drag players out of position, and again, give opportunities to other teammates. We've seen with the incoming of AYNTK, he's someone who likes to pick up that space on the edge of the box, and if Reynolds is maybe dragging someone from central to out wide, that's going to leave a lot of room on the edge of the box for people like AYNTK to really, really profit. So very good signing in terms of his technical ability and what I think he can offer to this Maidstone side. Again, looking at reviews, this is something else I want to start bringing into these videos of what other people are saying about him from previous clubs and people that he might know and things like that online. He's had some good reviews from people at Braintree. Of course, a manager said he's an incredibly hard worker and he wishes him all the best. But we've got fans as well saying they're sad to lose him. Congratulations on the move. So it's seemingly like there wasn't too much of a negativity there. They seem, again, in the same way they did with De Graft, very happy for himself that he's being able to get a good move. So that seems to be pretty good. But the main thing I want to feature in this video is, of course, that relationship with George Thorne. If you've watched Reynolds' interview with the club, you will have recognised the fact that he said that he is very familiar with George Thorne through his time on loan at Leyton Orient a few years back, and that was, of course, where he met Big George himself. During this time, he established a good relationship with him, did look up to him, idolised him because of his career up to that point. So it's very, very good that we've managed to get these two working together, because obviously, if you've got someone that you respect so highly that you're willing to look up to them as a role model of sorts in football, but you're also very friendly with this person, you're not going to want to let them down. You're going to want to perform to the best of your ability. And I think if Reynolds has got that relationship with the manager at the club, you want to hope this is not some sort of jobs for the boys thing, but I really highly doubt that. I think Reynolds definitely possesses the ability to be a great contributor to this side. But like I say, hopefully that relationship he's got with the manager, and of course he'll know some of the players more than likely who are already at the club, so it's very, very good to see him coming in. I think that is going to contribute very much to his success next season and Maidstone's as a whole as well in this new forward line. So if you do enjoy this type of content and you did enjoy this video in particular, leave a like down below. Do subscribe to the channel as well. There's going to be plenty more videos coming across this off-season period. I'm sure we're going to be bringing you more All You Need to Know, so stay tuned for plenty more of those when they do get released. And of course, leave your comments down below. Are you happy with the signing of Lamar Reynolds? Does this video open your mind up a little bit more compared to some of the stats and things you might find online? That's what these videos are all about, giving you a little bit more context to the limited information you might be able to find online. So thank you all so very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.